Question number 4 gives us the height of the Ferris wheel at different points in time. Now, we were asked to estimate the period of the data, and we were asked to find the height at 10 minutes and the vertical shift, horizontal shift, amplitude, and equation. So when we plot the graph, we're going to get a graph that looks like this, and it's kind of hard to see min and max points, and we can kind of estimate maybe a max point somewhere over there, or a min point here, but this point here and this point here at 0, 0, and 21, 20, those represent fairly good min and max points. Now the difficulty with those two coordinates is that this is going to represent one full period and half a period, so 1.5 periods. So when I look at the periods, I'm going to do that first. The period of this function is going to be 21 from there to there, but since it's 1.5 periods, I'm going to need to divide by 1.5. And I get a period of 14 minutes. Now, I just want to double check that, because does that look right based on just one full cycle? And although I've traced in the actual graph here, okay, you can kind of estimate that, yeah, that looks about right. About 14 minutes represents one cycle. And you can choose any two arbitrary points that would represent about one cycle. So my period is 14. My b value works out to be 2 pi over 14. And again, I'm going to leave it like that because I can see my period right in my b value. I'm going to calculate my a value based on the min and max coordinates. So it looks like it's a max of 20, a minimum of 0. So it's going to have an amplitude of 20 divided by 2. My vertical shift factor is going to be the middle line. The middle line is going to be the average of 0 and 20, which is 10, or halfway between those 2 points. And my c value, my horizontal shift, in this case, I'm going to use that as my horizontal shift, make that equal to 0, and use a negative cosine function. So the period is about 14 minutes. The height at 10 minutes, if we take a look at here, that looks like it's about 11 meters high right there. And we have a vertical shift of 0, vertical shift of plus 10, horizontal shift of 0, and amplitude of 10, and we can write this equation. So I'll write this equation as height as a function of minutes is equal to, I'm going to use a negative cosine function. So I have negative 10 cosine, and again I'm using the negative because it is the max, the minimum, we're starting at a minimum point and going up. So cosine, going to have a b value of 2 pi over 14. My minutes is going to have a horizontal shift of 0, so I could just leave it like that, and then a vertical shift of plus 10. So there it is. There's our equation for this relationship.